Marcus admitted to cheating. That should have been the end of it. But when Dr. Phil asked one follow-up question, who was she? The answer didn't just destroy marriage. It unraveled a 9-year cover-up involving a suicide, a terminal diagnosis, and a promise that should have died with his best friend. The studio lights felt like interrogation lamps. Sarah sat rigid in the leather chair, her hands white-knuckled around a crumpled tissue. Marcus was 3 feet away, but it might as well have been a canyon. "Say it again," Sarah said. Her voice was flat. "Dead. Say it to my face." Marcus's leg bounced against the stage floor. The rhythmic thud echoed through the silent studio. "I had an affair. 6 months. It's over. 6 months." Sarah laughed, but nothing about it was funny. 6 months of lying. 6 months of coming home and kissing me like... Her voice cracked. She looked away. Dr. Phil leaned forward, his hands clasped. "Marcus, you asked to come here. You said you needed to tell the truth. So tell it." "I'm telling the truth." "Are you?" Dr. Phil's eyes narrowed. "Because your wife deserves more than it's over." "Who is she?" The audience murmur died instantly. Marcus's jaw clenched. His hands gripped the armrests. "Does it matter?" "It matters to me," Sarah whispered. She finally looked at him, and her eyes were drowning. "Was it someone I know?" The pause lasted 5 seconds. It felt like an hour. "Yeah," Marcus said, his voice barely audible. "You knew her." Sarah stood up, so fast her chair scraped backward. "Ooh, sit down, Sarah," Dr. Phil said gently. "No." Her chest heaved. "No, I'm not sitting down until he tells me." It was Lily. The name hit the room like a grenade. Sarah's face went blank, completely blank. Then she shook her head, slow, like she was trying to dislodge the words from her brain. "No, no, that's not. Lily died 9 years ago." "I know. She died, Marcus. She killed herself." "She..." Sarah's hand flew to her mouth. "Oh my God. Oh my God. Before she died?" Marcus nodded once. The audience gasped. Someone in the back row whispered, "Jesus Christ." Dr. Phil held up a hand for silence. He was studying Marcus now, really studying him. "You had an affair with your wife's best friend, and then she took her own life. Is that what you're telling us?" "It's not." Marcus's voice broke. He pressed his palms against his eyes. "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it like?" Sarah's voice was rising, spiraling. "You slept with Lily, and then she... Did I do something? Did she feel guilty? Did you?" She was dying. Silence. Complete, suffocating silence. Sarah froze mid-sentence. Her mouth hung open. Dr. Phil's expression shifted. "Explain that." Marcus pulled his phone from his pocket. His hand was shaking so badly he almost dropped it twice. He scrolled, stopped, stared at the screen for a long moment. 3 months before Lily died, she got diagnosed. His voice was hollow. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. 6 months, maybe. They said maybe 6 months. Sarah sat down slowly. Her legs just gave out. "She didn't tell anyone?" Dr. Phil asked. "She told me." Marcus looked up, and his eyes were red. "She made me promise not to tell anyone. Especially not you." He looked at Sarah. "You were going through your dad's chemo. You were barely sleeping. She said she couldn't put that on you. So you slept with her?" Sarah's voice was venom. "That was your solution?" "No. God, no." Marcus ran his hands through his hair. "She asked me to help her feel normal. To feel like she wasn't dying. To have one thing that wasn't about doctors or pain or waiting to die." The studio was so quiet you could hear the ventilation system humming. "She wanted to feel wanted," Marcus continued. "Not pitted, not sick, just alive. One last time." Dr. Phil leaned back, his face unreadable. "So this was what? A mercy affair?" "It was a mistake," Marcus said quickly. "It was wrong. I knew it was wrong, but she was my friend too, and she was terrified, and I..." "You didn't think to tell me?" Sarah's voice was barely a whisper now. "When she died, when I fell apart at her funeral, when I blamed myself for not seeing the signs, you didn't think I deserved to know? She made me promise." "She's dead, Marcus." Sarah screamed it. The audience flinched. "She's been dead for 9 years, and you've been lying to me every single day." But that wasn't even the worst part. Because what Marcus said next, and what Dr. Phil found in those text messages, would prove that Lily's death wasn't just about cancer. Drop a comment. Could you keep a promise like this? even if it destroyed your marriage? Dr. Phil held out his hand. Let me see the phone. Marcus hesitated. Then he unlocked it and handed it over. Dr. Phil scrolled. His face changed 3 times in 10 seconds. Confusion, realization, then something close to horror. Marcus, Dr. Phil said slowly, these texts are from 2 days before Lily died. I know. She's talking about treatment. Experimental trials. She says Dr. Phil looked up. She says, I changed my mind. I want to fight. The air left the room. Sarah leaned forward. What? Dr. Phil kept reading, his voice steady but careful. I can't leave her. I can't leave Sarah. Tell her everything. I don't care anymore. I just want more time. He looked at Marcus. Did you tell her? I was going to. Marcus's face crumbled. I was going to tell Sarah everything that weekend. But then, his voice broke completely. Then Lily's mom called and said that she'd found her. So everyone assumed it was suicide, Dr. Phil said. The medical examiner said overdose. Intentional. Marcus was crying now, full body shaking. But she'd changed her mind. She wanted to live. I don't know what happened those 2 days. I don't know if the pain got worse, or if she got scared, or if she found out something else, Dr. Phil said quietly. Marcus looked up. What? Dr. Phil handed the phone back, but he'd screenshotted something. He showed it to the camera, then to Sarah. It was a text from Lily's number, sent 1 day before she died. He told me about the baby. I understand now why you can't know. I'm sorry I put him in this position. Tell Sarah I love her. Tell her none of this was her fault. Sarah's face went white as bone. What baby? Sarah's voice was a ghost. Marcus closed his eyes. After your dad died, you had that breakdown. Remember? The doctor put you on medication, and I lost the pregnancy. Sarah's hand went to her stomach instinctively. I was 8 weeks along. They said the medication might have. Lily knew. Marcus said. I told her. I had to tell someone, Sarah. You were so destroyed, and I didn't know how to help you, and she thought you blamed me, Dr. Phil said, piecing it together. Lily thought you resented Sarah for losing the baby, and that's why you slept with her. No, Marcus said desperately. I never blamed you, Sarah. Never. But Sarah wasn't listening anymore. She was staring into space, her mind rewinding 9 years. She left me that voicemail, Sarah whispered, the night before. She said, I love you, and none of this is your fault. I thought she was talking about her depression. But she was talking about, Sarah looked at Marcus, and her eyes were full of something worse than anger. Understanding. She thought she was the other woman. She thought she'd stolen you from me. She didn't steal anything, Marcus said. Sarah, she didn't. But she believed it. Sarah stood up, and this time she didn't collapse. She died believing she destroyed our marriage. And you let her. Dr. Phil stood. It was the first time he'd moved in minutes. Marcus, he said, why didn't you tell Sarah any of this? At the funeral, in the years after. Why now? Marcus pulled an envelope from his jacket pocket. His hands were still shaking. This came last week. From Lily's mom. She was cleaning out storage and found it in Lily's things. It's addressed to Sarah. He handed it to Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil opened it carefully. Read it. Then he looked at Sarah. Do you want me to read this out loud? Sarah nodded mute. Dr. Phil's voice was gentle. Sarah, if you're reading this, I'm gone, and Marcus probably told you everything. I'm so sorry. I knew he'd break eventually. He loves you too much to keep lying forever. The affair was my idea. I begged him. I told him it was the only thing that would make me feel human before I died. I lied to him too. I told him you'd understand someday. I don't know if you will, but I need you to know. He never wanted me. He wanted you. Every second. He cried the first time. He said your name. I made him promise to never tell you, because I couldn't let you watch me die and hate me. I am selfish. I'm so selfish. But he's not. He's the best man I ever knew. Don't let my death kill your marriage too. Ed. The letter fluttered from Dr. Phil's hand. Sarah was crying silently, tears streaming down her face. Marcus was doubled over, his head in his hands. So what do I do? Sarah asked no one. Everyone. What do I do with this? Dr. Phil sat back down. That's not a question I can answer for you. The screen faded to black, then back in. Dr. Phil's voice, reflective. Sarah and Marcus left that day without speaking. We didn't know if they'd ever talk again. Cut to a photo. Sarah and Marcus at a cemetery. They're not touching, but they're standing together. On Lily's headstone, fresh flowers. Dr. Phil continues. 3 weeks ago, Sarah sent me this. They visit Lily's grave together now. Once a month. They're in therapy. The marriage isn't saved, Sarah's words, not mine. But it's not over either. He pauses. Sometimes the truth doesn't set you free. Sometimes it just shows you what prison you've been living in. And you have to decide if you want to stay. Here's the question I need you to answer. If your partner kept a secret like this, a promise to a dying friend, would you call it loyalty or betrayal? Because Sarah still doesn't know. Drop your answer below. And if this story destroyed you, wait until you hear what happened when a father discovered his son wasn't his, but his brother's. That's next week.